something, right? Or maybe you do if you, but let's say we don't want a negative value. This is just for gravity loading. What you could do is you go think what type of number would go under permanent load. Would it be a decimal number, integer? Would you allow decimal points? Well, of course you would, right? Think so. It's from your own usage, right? So we select the decimal number, okay? And you might want a minimum and maximum, eh? Right? A minimum and maximum. So you're not going to have something anything lower than okay, it's kilonewtons per meter. So let's just say just put 0.1 there, right? And you can have as high as you want, 1,000 or whatever, right? Now just try it out. If you put something like 0.05, it's going to stop you doing that, right? If you put something like 10,000, it's going to stop you from doing that. But you can put, it's up to you what range you want, but just from your common sense, So you want to limit that, and you also want to limit this WQ. So you might want to copy and paste. If you copy and paste it, you're going to get the same validation, right? Okay. Now we've done span. Now for LAY, that's the distance between lateral restraints, which is what I'll talk about in a second. This is the distance between what we call blocking in a to show you. Okay, so what do we mean by lateral restraints? See if we get a picture. Okay, so if you've got a timber beam, right? What we mean by lateral restraints is the distance between, because you don't want the beam toppling over, so you can have blocking between them. So it's a distance between the bracing of the beam, right? So you can either have timber blocking or you can have braces like this, bridging. Okay, so that's that distance between here and here. Okay, now it's in millimeters. Now for something like, you're not going to have 0.1 over 0.5 of a millimeter, right? In timber construction. So what do you want? You want whole numbers, right? Obviously, right? So it's up. If you put decimal points, it's not going to be the end of the world. But I'd put something like a data validation like this. Perhaps I'd say a whole number, but obviously it's going to be greater than 10 millimeters, right? Or what? Even that's going to be too small. Let's say 50. Well, you can put what you want in really, as long as it's above 0, okay? And like you might have you can put a huge number there. Okay, so 10 meters, right? So if you try it, you can see if it's smaller than 50 in this case, doesn't work. And then if you try to put a decimal number in, it doesn't work. You have to just keep it to whole numbers. Okay. Now, here's what we call number of sections held together. And what we mean by this is number of sections together. sorry, where's the, looked at the wrong one. Okay, that's not blocking. Oh no, yeah, lateral restraint. Just the one. Sorry, it was this one. Lateral distance between lateral restraints. I put the wrong. You put it in this house. Should be this house. Distance between lateral restraints. So you got whole number, and you want say, okay, 10 if you want, or 10,000. Okay. So just test that, and then you've got length of bearing area, and you might want to just copy and paste the same. Okay. So okay. So that's for the validation, right? So check the validate. You validated the length. Okay, let's validate the length of the beam. Oh, I looked at the wrong one. So you can have that between again a decimal and what do you want for your span? Anything from you can go anything from 0.1 to bigger numbers you want really. You just want to stop them entering negative numbers or say 50,000 or 50. Okay, so that's okay. So between span, I've just put it. You're going say from it's up to you, like 1 to 50 up to 50 meters. Just what do you think is common sense from this? You can go from 10 to 10,000 millimeters, and this here, let's go 10 to 1,000. Okay, but you can have any number that's above 0. I'm not that concerned. So just do those three. Do the validation for those three. Okay, and we'll do the validation for the load as well. So I'm not sure why I went to this one first. Okay, for permanent load, just do anything from 1, say from 0.1 to 100, I suppose. You do 1,000. And same for this one, point load, imposed load, same thing. Okay, so you put the validation for these ones. I'll do it one step by step. Sorry, I did it a bit out of order. Select the first one again. You go data. This is the data validation. And for these 5 here, you can, for this one, permanent load, obviously you want a decimal point between 0.1 and 1,000. This one, same thing, 0.1 and 1,000, say. Okay, where you put in. This one, 1 to 50 meters. So that will be decimal point. So put 1 to 50 is more sensible. This one here. Now this, you don't want a decimal point for this, so you just whole number between 10 and 10,000, and this one also between 10 and 10,000. Okay, so select those 5 up, and remember this timber grade one you get from the spreadsheet, and we'll talk about section size in a minute. Okay, so I'll delete that for the time being. So you just do the data validation for the 1, 2, 3, 4, the first 6 cells. Okay, get that done.